Well, I'm glad I found this guy and he's going around asking people about cannabis. That was something I was going to do a bit later if I needed to. But I was hoping other people would, as it'll save me doing it and I can do other things. But I'll certainly support what he's doing and put in my thoughts on it too. So I said to him to check out what I put up. He's pretty much said a lot of questions. He might have already checked out my page or heard about something. Who knows? I'm not going to get into that. Best to see people face to face to find out certain questions later. I'm glad that guy talked about that marijuana is not worse than alcohol and that he sees the science of it when he asked a fella a question. I believe cannabis should be legalised as it'll make it better than make it worse, in my opinion. Might even make people not drink so much and have these drunk drivers driving around doing stupid things that they can't even remember doing the next day. Imagine that guilt that you can't even remember the next day. It's a pretty bad drug, eh? At least it should be another drug where at least you might have most memory or bits of the memory because, you know, you hear about all the other drugs. You might fuck around with you, but you remember, right? You won't totally forget like alcohol can do. You total blanks, right? Definitely when it comes to marijuana. And you can't overdose on it either. So it'll save many, many lives, in my opinion. Everything can be addictive, including shopping and all that kind of stuff. You know, as an old lady, as people were talking about, wanting to talk about that it's addictive. But everything's addictive. So that's not the subject we're talking about. The subject we're talking about is about marijuana and should it be legalised. Not about should we just say, oh, it could be addictive, which is pretty much saying they don't want it around because they're worried that people will get stuck on it. You should be worried about people getting stuck on lots of things, and people are. That's the big main key factor when it comes to addictive, really. First, we fix our lives all around the world and have a great life. Then we talk about addictive parts. That's how usually you'd want to see that subject. So if you're in a perfect world, everything's going good, and marijuana is the biggest problem, then you'd want to mention about addictive. True? That's why people need to be more educated in different ways. People are just too much repeating on TV shows, seeing too much repeat. Could be the problem, not wanting to learn, not enough different stuff to learn as the repeat happens on normal TV, and most people watch normal TV. Could be a factor of why people don't get to see or understand or get educated enough, in my opinion. Where we can do better to educate the people out there about all sorts of things. It's like shopping. You know how much you can spend and handle any addiction. So education helps that, and a good life and people around you to help you with the decisions you do, including shopping and smoking or any addiction, swearing, all that kind of stuff. Is that the people around you and the group that you hang out with usually helps you in that area, unless they have the problem too, which causes a mass problem, doesn't it? Which is what we're finding. Why is that? Maybe because the daddy, the government, is being a hypocrite. And if they're being a hypocrite, people might want to be a hypocrite too. If they're lying, people might want to lie. If they're not showing the truth, people might not want to show the truth. You understand? So the best example to fix that kind of problem is to start from the top to set an example about truth and honesty and the right things. Instead of control, raising money for control. And when does that money really truly go, and does it help later on too? When they do such things, or is that just another way to make money? Once again, you don't want to be a hypocrite when it comes to subjects. It makes you really look stupid or controlling, as far as I'm concerned. And you don't want that. Definitely if you're a government. True? Anyway, if you get in the subject real and be real about things, and that's what the government needs to do, is make real tests when it comes to not having dodgy, unfair tests, like with your license. They can figure it out. I've talked about many different reasons, things that they can do to show if you're stoned or not. First, you can start off with the old classic, like they did with the alcohol, walk the line, how you acting, and they can use other devices like phone to see your eyes, and eyes might be another factor. But that all because the eyes can show how stoned you are, and they don't change until you get to a certain level, usually. But it can help. Certain devices can all help, and you go from there. As they might even use clear eye, but you can go through tests to see if you can still pick it up after people have used clear eye. That's what science is. We find a way, we make it right, and we put it out. Till then, if it's not right, we do the basics that is at least true, which is walk the line and figure it out that way, how the person is actually acting. And then you can go from there of how you should charge them because they're stoned. And you'll see it, obviously, right, of how they're acting, and also with the test saying they've had it, so that helps. It doesn't confirm, right, that they are, but it will help at court if you wanted to take them to court, from showing like if they're drunk but you couldn't prove that they're drunk but you know they are, you use the same concept, right? So if they say you're not stoned, like in my case, right, which he was right, he's not lying, and I'll back him up on that, and in saying it's just a test and it's the way it works, he shows you that it's not meant to happen when it comes to am I dangerous as a driver. No, I was not. Anyway, have a good one, people, and see you later. And I hope this helps you too, mate, as I only work with people, not against people. And if it doesn't help you, let me know. Bye.